So this video is called Easy Musical Improvisation at Home, and I'll be using a keyboard for this, but you could use a different instrument if you want, and you can do it with some other people in a group, or you could do it on your own. It's up to you. First of all, ensure that your environment is really calm and clutter-free and comfortable. So you might want to get some cushions, light a candle, completely up to you, whatever makes you feel relaxed. Then decide which sort of soundscape you would like to create. So think of a place that makes you feel really relaxed. It could be the ocean, it could be a forest, it could be a riverside, or even something like like looking up at the stars, so maybe outer space or something like that, and something where you are able to create sounds that remind you of that place. So one option is to actually create a visual for your musical improvisation, and you can do that by cutting up pictures from a magazine and stick them together into a collage on a sheet of card. And the option is you could have that in front of you as you improvise, so that you've got a visual as well as the sound, and to help inspire the music that you make. Now that you've chosen your soundscape, you then need to find a soundscape backing track, and you can find these on YouTube. I've put some suggestions in the PDF pack, put some links there for some ideas of different types of soundscapes, or you can find your own. But when you choose, just make sure it's really easy to play along to. So for example, slow chord progressions or changes, and then if it has a beat, just making sure that it's a steady beat and slow, and something that is very relaxing and has the sound effects of the place that you're trying to create, as well as the music in the background. So for example, I'm going to do for my demonstration an ocean soundscape. So I'm going to press play. I've got my laptop down here, so pressing play, and you should now be able to hear that. And now the idea is just to really engage with the music. So take your time with this, just be in the present moment. You can even close your eyes if you want, and I would encourage you to take some deep, slow breaths. And if you want, you can even do some stretches, stretching up, or some shoulder rolls, and just get rid of any tension. Also, as you're breathing deeply, just making sure that you're letting go of any need to perform well, or for it to sound perfect, or any or for it to, if you think whether you think you're musical or not. It's not about creating perfection, it's about being in the moment and enjoying the process of creating through music that place that you are visualizing. Then you're ready to improvise, and you can just start off really simply with one or two, well, two notes at least. So I'm going to choose my two notes and just play around with them for a few moments. Then you can expand to maybe 3 notes. And then maybe 4. And then adding more and more as you feel comfortable. And you can move up and down the keyboard as well, just experimenting with the different sounds. And then once you have played around a little bit with the right hand, you might want to add in an accompaniment. So you can use even just 2 notes in your left hand, using your left hand. And fourths and fifths work really well because they're a good, stable, solid accompaniment to whatever melody you're playing in your right hand. So for what I mean by fourths and fifths are 4 notes up from the bottom note, including the bottom note, or 5 notes up from the bottom note, starting from the bottom note. So, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, then playing them together, there's a fourth, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can play around with those 2 different intervals. And when you feel comfortable with that, you can add the right hand back in. You can change the interval as well, so the amount of notes between the 2, the top and the bottom. Just play around and have fun with it. And you can also try and replicate the type of sounds that you hear. For example, for me, it's the waves, so I might try and play some music that sounds like the waves. And there's no right or wrong, it's just whatever reminds you of that. I've just shown you how to create a soundscape using keyboard, but of course you don't have to stick to keyboard, you could use a different instrument. Now if you don't have your own instruments at home, you don't even have to spend any money on it. You could borrow an instrument or 2 from family or friends, or if you can find instruments for not too much from charity shops. And then of course you can buy instruments online for a range of prices, so it's up to you how much you want to invest, if at all. So I'm just going to show you a couple of really great percussion instruments that are particularly good for this exercise. One of them is called a rain stick, and if you tilt it slowly it sounds a bit like rain. So let's try that again. There we go. And also the tactile element of this instrument is just really therapeutic. It just feels really nice to hold and really relaxing as well. And I've also got something called an ocean drum. Same idea, just tilt it really slowly. And this makes a sound like the waves of the ocean. So there's 2 instruments there. But of course you can choose what you want to use, and just remember the principle, keep it simple, stay engaged with the process and just be really present in the moment. Remember to keep breathing deeply and just enjoy creating some sounds and visualizing that really calming place. So I hope that you enjoy this and have fun.